What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest episode of the Terrible Towel post-game show. And I am your host, SimFBallCritic, man, and we're going to jump right into it. Wait a little while, see if I can get a few more of you guys up in here before we get all the way started. Looks like everything is working, so you guys give me a quick virtual thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me. Very long day for me, guys. This is going to be a fairly short show. I will explain that in a moment. Haven't even had an opportunity to watch the game yet because, I told you guys last time we talked that, I had an outing today. Had to drive to upstate New York. We went apple picking, had a wonderful time, man, with the family, my son and my wife or what have you. Just got back, literally. I just got back about 15 minutes ago. Excuse me. And I'm beat, guys. 4 ways there, 4 ways back. But listen, I can't not do a post-game show for you guys and for me as well, man, because I love this. I love doing this. I love covering the Steelers. So let's get right into it, man. So let's see. Okay, thank you guys for the virtual thumbs up. Appreciate that. And let's talk some football, guys. Again, I haven't watched the game since I do have Game Pass. I did record it on my TV, but since I have Game Pass, I can watch the condensed version, only about an hour and so, 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to do that. Maybe if I get a chance tonight, if not tomorrow. But I did watch some of the highlights. I watched some of the highlights. I watched, I definitely took a look at some of the stats. And again, I listened to the game. I was trying to listen to it for the most part while we were at the apple orchard. And the further out we got, come to find out, the Wi-Fi stopped working. So it was off and on. But thanks to my brother Tony was giving me updates. My father-in-law Leonard was giving me updates. And then, believe it or not, and Tony knows this, the whole way home, I listened to the game. So I definitely have a little information as far as what happened. But, for the most part, you guys can share with me, what you guys saw. And these are just going to be my knee-jerk reactions, all right? So let's get right into it. Yo, what a game. What a game. And can we take a moment really quick? And I'm going to say this a couple times in the show, man, because I'm sure we'll get a few more viewers. So I'll probably say this a few times while we do the show here. Can we give any credit to the defensive coaching staff? What do y'all think? Or are we going to give credit for the players playing better? The reason why I got to say that is, again, there's certain things that we all can look at that is coaching. And there's certain things that a lot of us can look at and we can say it's the players. But my point is, you don't usually hear a lot of this information when the game is won. You often get more of the criticism when the game is lost. And the only reason why I'm saying that, because of, those of you who stick to your guns and you say you want Mike Tomlin fired, I want you to say that when we win as well. For those of you that stick to your guns and say you want the whole defensive staff fired, I want you to say that when we win as well. Of course, I agree, and I do believe that maybe there's some changes that need to be made on defense. If you look at the grand total as a collective, just like with Todd Haley. Todd Haley wasn't necessarily fired. Contract expired. They didn't renew. So maybe it's something like that. And I don't know when Butler's contract expires, but I'm saying if we were to move on, I'm not opposed to that. But my only point is we don't necessarily know the ins and outs. And when it's a victory, nobody seems to be complaining as much. That's all I'm saying. But let's give them some credit. Let's give a quick round of applause for the defensive staff. Got to give them a quick round of applause, man, because from what I heard, they did a great job. And yeah, see what Champagne Poppy just said. Definitely there was something going on with the Sanu play. I can't wait to watch that. It was a 43-yard scamper. From what I heard, it was kind of a short pass, and then he just took off upfield. So I can't wait to go and take a look at that, as well as the All-22 to see what happened. But can you believe, guys, that Julio Jones, I don't think Julio had a catch until the fourth quarter, maybe late third. Held Julio Jones. I got the stats up here. Let me take a look at it really quick, guys. We're going to do all this on the fly. Y'all know how I do. Julio Jones What was he? Where is he at? 5 catches, 62 yards. 5 catches for 62 yards. And like I said, if I'm not mistaken, Julio didn't even catch the ball until the until the fourth quarter. Maybe it was late third, but I know it was late in the game. In the first half, he didn't have a catch. Austin Hooper got off early. You know, I kept hearing them say they were going to the tight end. He was getting off. Boom. 9 catches for 77 yards. Relatively decent day. No touchdown. I can live with that. Mohamed Sanu, 4 catches, 73 yards. And most of that came on that 43-yard touchdown he got. I think it was 43 or 47. I just remember it was 40-something. And he had a touchdown. Calvin Ridley, another guy that I said we had to keep our eyes on. Only 4 catches for 38 yards. Marvin Hall, 2 catches for 25 yards. And from there, everyone else is not even worth talking about. You hold Matt Ryan, 26 of 38 for 285 yards and 1 touchdown. Okay? How in the world did our defense do that? And we all know how we felt about our defense. How did they do that? Shout outs to Tony and others. You know, Tony said he felt good about this win. He said this earlier in the week. I remain to keep saying, I don't know, Tony. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what, how our defense is going to show up. What I like the most, guys, about the defensive effort today, and again, I'll have more to say this week on Tuesday after I actually watch the game, and, listening to the game and watching it is totally different. But from what I heard, I like the effort. I was listening to it via Game Pass, and let me tell y'all this other piece of information. I found out probably late third quarter that I could actually watch the game through the NFL app. All I had to do was cut on location services on my phone. But again, by the time I figured that out, we were too far in the apple orchard. I couldn't hear it anyway. And even Tony told me I could also watch it on Yahoo app, the Yahoo Sports app. So I'll be prepared the next time I may or may not be home. But anyway, I like the fact that, listening to the Steelers broadcast, it was, the Steelers radio, which is the broadcast that they played. So that was Tunch and Billy and then Wolf down in the field. They kept saying how much the defense was flying to the ball. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. Tackle to catch. Obviously, guys, it's an NFL offensive team, very high-powered offensive team, great weapons at wide receiver. You're not going to make every play. I can excuse, for the most part, they give up a touchdown to Sanu. They give up another rushing touchdown at some other point or whatever. It's going to happen, guys. They are an NFL high-powered, explosive offense. It's not like we have the best defense in the world, but let's think about this. We held that offense to 17 points. The defense that we've seen on the field, the same defense we saw take on the Kansas City Chiefs and couldn't stop a faucet, by turning it if they wanted to. The same team we saw last week struggle, keeping the lid on the Baltimore Ravens offense, and they come out here and shut down, for the most part, the Atlanta Falcons. Very impressive. Let's not forget about T.J. Watt. This guy was balling out of control. Let me go back to his stats. I know he had 3 sacks on the day, forced a fumble, strip sack, I believe it was. And where's his total? He had 6 solos and 2 assisted. So 8 total tackles, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. T.J. Watt was balling. And not even to mention just T.J. Watt. Again, I got to see it to really put, my thoughts in order, but listening to what I heard, it sounds like the offensive guys, I'm all over the place, sorry. It sounds like the outside linebackers were doing work. I heard Anthony Chickalo's name a few times on tackles. I heard Bud Dupree being very disruptive a few times. Even the times when they were saying that T.J. Watt was getting sacks with somebody else, they kept saying Bud Dupree was right there. Okay? And I heard that they were rotating these guys. Good to see that. Same thing they were doing with the inside linebackers from what I was hearing via radio, that they were rotating, Metakevich, and then most of the time when they felt like it was going to be more of a passing down, L.J. Fort would come in the game. L.J. Fort gets a couple sacks, or he gets at least 1 sack and then recovers one in the end zone. The fumble that T.J. Watt forced, sound like L.J. Fort had a nice game out there. And remember, guys, L.J. Fort and Matthew Thomas are the more athletic guys. So, you know, we may see some combinations of things we might be able to throw out there, even with Vince Williams healthy. I've always had an affinity for LJ Fort for some reason. I've always felt like this guy should play a little more. And, you know, of course he's going to have his inconsistencies. Of course he's going to have his areas of concern like everybody. You know, we don't have the perfect inside linebacker. Our inside linebacker situation isn't perfect. But I like what he can bring to the table. Can't wait to watch the game, man, so I could really see what happened. And again, for you guys who are coming in here late, whether you remember from last week or not, didn't get a chance to actually watch the game today, man. I was on a family outing deep in the apple orchard in upstate New York. But I did listen to it. I'm going to watch it here maybe tonight. I'll probably go to sleep, but if I get a chance, I'll at least peek at the first quarter or so, watch the condensed version of the game. It's only an hour and change, but I'll definitely watch it tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, of course, we'll have the All-22. What else did I want to talk about, man? Sounds like Terrell Evans had a couple nice tackles. Looks like he had 5 solo tackles, 2 assisted. Cam Sutton had 4 tackles. John Bostic, total of 5 tackles, and had a half sack as well. And like I said, Bud Dupree, 3 solos, 3 assisted, so he was involved with 6 tackles. Sean Davis involved with 5. Defense just played great, man. They played very, very good. I mean, again, without even seeing the game, I mean, come on. You held those guys to 17 points. Let's talk about something else really quick, guys. Antonio Brown. The return of the deep ball from Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. You know, when they got that touchdown late in the game, I believe it was on a play action based on the commentary that I heard. But it's good to see that Antonio Brown able to get his numbers. Let me see where AB was at. Where we got him at. 6 catches, 101, 2 touchdowns. Sounds like AB of old. James Conner. Listen to this. 4 catches, 75 yards. Oh, and let's give James Conner all the praise in the world. We're going to give him a round of applause, folks. Way to go there, James. Way to go there, James. 21 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged 5.2. If I didn't know anything else from listening to the broadcast, James Conner sounded like he was out there playing ball. They kept saying, spins away from this tackle, makes this guy miss. There was a screen play to him. They were saying there was 5 defenders around him. He gets past those guys. Can't wait to see that in action. Offensive line sounded like they played very, very well. Just all across the board, guys, it sounds like this game was what we've been asking for. An offense that can be potent at times. I mean, of course, you're not going to make every play because it also sounded like Ben Roethlisberger was a little rusty, a little early. But put things together. Once they got all of their ducks in a row, they were off and running. Put up a 40 burger. Maybe that doesn't happen every week, but again, if you could get this type of production, consistent production from a Steeler offense, which they are capable, the Steelers offense on paper and from what we've seen with our own eyes, you know, we might be missing a piece or two, of course, Le'Veon Bell, but even from what we see lined up there on the field, the Steelers should be a team that can average at least 25 to 30 points average. You know, maybe one game you don't get that much, but they should be able to average 25 to 30. And if our defense can play this way, if our defense can hold opposing offenses to 20 points, maybe 21 points, that's a recipe for win. Okay, that's a recipe for a win. Again, the Atlanta Falcons defense, they're not that great either. But this was a great test for us going against that type of high-powered offense. And again, if our defense can hold teams under 20 or say 21 or less, we got a chance. I'm still not, I'm not riding this wave though, guys, because again, it is still relatively early. Week 5. Let's see what happens next week when we go into Cincinnati. And speaking of the division, the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens. Wow. Isn't that puzzling, guys? Isn't that puzzling how football is week to week? And you can't necessarily compare teams, even though we do it all the time. You can, in theory, compare a team, but you can't necessarily compare how they're going to match up against you and them against them, etc., etc. Who would have thought The Ravens and the Cleveland Browns 12-9. Now again, both of those teams have great defenses. But I wouldn't have thought that even with, it being a field goal game as it appears to have been, unless there was, a missed extra point or something in there, I would have never imagined that the Cleveland Browns would outduel the Baltimore Ravens. Again, whether it's field goal for field goal or not, I wouldn't have thought they would have been able to have the last laugh. Very surprising to me. Let's look around the league really quick again, and I'll get back to us, and then I'll see what you guys got to say real quick, and then we'll get out of here, man. I'm going to make this a short one again. For you guys that didn't hear this earlier, I've had a super long day, 4-hour drive to, 4-hour drive back, and I'm exhausted. Let's see. Kansas City is for real, man. 30 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags only put up 14. Who would have thunk New York Jets? 34 points against the Denver Broncos. A lot of crazy stuff, man. See, Oakland is still losing. Philadelphia Eagles lose again. I didn't even see that one. Minnesota Vikings 23-21. I mean, just around the league is crazy. Seattle pushes the Rams to a 33-31 loss, but who would have thought that Seattle would muster that many points against that defense? Crazy stuff, man. And of course, we know, New England won back on Thursday or whatever. I'm trying to see who else. There's one other game I want to keep my eyes on. They pulled it out. So Cincinnati did pull it out against the Miami Dolphins. I know at one point the Dolphins were winning that game, but Cincinnati's real, man, and we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested. Oh, wow, I see the Houston Texans beat the Cowboys in overtime, 19-16, and then the Carolina game. And I actually was out, at the Apple Orchard, with some Giants fans, and they were heartbroken to lose the game to a 63-yard field goal. Quite crazy. But anyway, let's get back into it, man. Talk about a couple more things. From what I heard, again, man, guys, I didn't see it, and I will see it here soon, but wow, what a performance with that offense. I mean, Roethlisberger did throw an interception, and if you guys can fill me in, was it a bad throw, or did he try to force it? Did it get popped up? What? I don't know, but I know, that's a critical moment, guys. We were on like the 5-yard line. We're in the red zone, and it was 22 seconds or something left on the clock. You cannot turn the ball over at that point. I mean, you can't take 3 off the board, and you can't take a potential 6 points for a touchdown by turning the ball over. Again, when I see it, I'll be able to analyze that, but it didn't come back to hurt us in this game, but those are critical things, man. Imagine if we would have been able to go up even more at that point, right before the half. The Falcons would have been shell-shocked. And they probably was already shell-shocked anyway, but, those are times that you could just drive a stake through the heart of your opponent to score right there, right at half. That would have been crucial. Again, it didn't hurt us this particular time, but can't do that, Big Ben. You cannot do that offense. Cannot turn the ball over in that situation at that point of the field, at that point of the game. Critical. Let's talk about Rosie Nixon, the block, guys. All season so far, man, there's been a couple times when I thought we were very close. And, shout outs to Dave Bryan over at SteelersDepot.com. And I believe Alex Kazua may have said this. They posted on their site that, we're going to get a block. It's going to happen. They said that he's definitely going to get a block. And, because we've been getting pressure, we're getting very, very close. And there it is. Rosie Nix actually gets the block. That was key as well. I believe we scored points off of that. And all around, man, I mean, all 3 units did their thing. And again, when I can watch it and analyze it, it's going to be fun because now I'll have more to talk about on Tuesday. But this is what I'm talking about. And it's funny, guys, because had we lost, I think all of us would have had our head in the dumps. We would have been down because if we would have gone, where we at now? We're 2-1. Yeah, if we would have went 1-3-1, that wouldn't have been good, man. Heading into Cincinnati. Right now, what this at least does, maybe it puts some eyebrow raise in the minds of the Cincinnati Bengals, because they saw how they had to fight and kick and fight to beat the Atlanta Falcons. And they see that, the Steelers were able to, stop them offensively and produce 41 points. It could get in their psyche a little bit, saying, okay, the Steelers, they might not be as out as we thought. And then again, we have to be very prepared for that game. Because Cincinnati they trying to run this division right now. They got a hold of it right now with winning today and the Ravens losing. This is a great opportunity for them to give us an L, make us 2-3-1, and that could be very critical for us. But outside of that, guys, I just think, sound like a phenomenal game from everybody. James Conner, I can't talk about him enough. And this is going to be interesting, guys. What's going to happen when Le'Veon Bell actually comes back? My biggest fear, man, is it's going to affect some chemistry on the team. Because right now, the chemistry, even when we weren't winning, the chemistry is different with him behind center. With him being the guy running the football. I don't know. Of course, Le'Veon Bell is a mega talent, but I'm just saying, I hope it does not affect with the chemistry on field and in that locker room. It's going to be very interesting to see how they handle it, how the Steelers want to handle it. Is there anything else I could say, guys? Trying to think. I think I heard James Conner did fumble down in the red zone and bounced off of his helmet or whatever. I would like to see him be able to secure the ball a little more. I know we still got the bad taste in our mouth against Cleveland. It happens. I'm not gonna, really, I'm not gonna beat him up too much about it. You just gotta, use it as a learning lesson. Protect that ball a little more, because from what they were saying on the broadcasters, they got stripped. So, I think the Steelers are in a good spot right now, man. If they can somehow go into Cincinnati and get the win and go into the bye, then you never know what might happen. We still got a lot of people to play, though, guys. I mean, we still got Drew Brees out there. We'll see what they do tomorrow against the Redskins. Carolina. We still got a team like Carolina, which I think we probably could outduel. But, again, it's going to be a tough outing with them. Phillip Rivers, likes to throw the football around. Whether the Chargers are good or not, they generally play the Steelers very well. We got a lot of, teams that we still got to play. We still got New England. And, so let's not get our hopes up too high yet. It's just good to see the guys fight. It's just good to see them respond the way they did after losing last week. Didn't want to lose 2 games in a row at Heinz Field. It's just great to see them being able to respond. And again, it's great to see the defense can keep a lid on things. We'll see. I still don't think we are an outstanding defense. I'm still at the point where I need them to prove me wrong. But good to see. It's good to see, okay? Let's go and see what you guys got to say, man. Because like I said, I'm probably going to get up out of here in a minute. And I want to hear what you guys got to say about the game, man. Let's see. Shout outs to everybody in here, man. The regulars, Tony, Steeler Cards, Champagne Poppy. I saw Debbie in here already. Quite a few of you return offenders. Repeat offenders, I guess I would say. My boy Kenyon, Ali Howard. What's good, everybody? Tay Johnson. All right, let me read some of you guys' comments and see what y'all got, man. Let's see what we got. Champagne said Hayden was on Julio most of the day. Okay, that's good to see. Good to hear. Let's see. Trajanal Jones says, I think the players and the coaching staff were in sync today. Look at the clamp they put on Julio. Absolutely. I have to agree with that. Spirit of Truth says Tomlin is a great coach. Vikings should have kept him. Dumb fools. I got you. Steeler Card says, and those yards came in garbage time as well. I guess you're talking about Matt Ryan. AB finally got his 100 yards. Yeah, that's sick now, Cole. That's glad to see that, man, because you want to keep him happy. You want to, you don't want him pouting and things like that. Jesse Williams says, I think we played a balanced game. Ben had me upset when he forced the ball to AB. Okay, so he forced it. Okay, that's what I thought. He loves AB, don't he? Said he forced it to AB in the interception, but he did better in the second half. speaking of that, guys, it was interesting because I was telling my wife, as we were out there at the orchard, I said, I don't know if I'm happy about this or if it scares me. And she was like, what? I said, our offense got started really fast, right? And then in the second quarter, we won't get any points. I kept hearing, okay, the Falcons scored, which that's going to happen, and they got a field goal. And then when we turned the ball over right before the half, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? It was almost like a role reversal. And most of the games we played, we've been down and out in the first quarter. The second quarter has been our strong suit, and then in the second half we struggle. So I didn't know how to feel with us coming out so hot. And I was like, okay, what is this? And then we went cold. Had me very, very nervous. Speaking of that, guys, I got to say this. Kudos to the off. Let me give the offense a round of applause. Thumbs up to the offense and everybody involved. Guys, for you guys who watched the game, they scored on a 97.5-yard drive. What? And then they had another drive where they scored on an 85-yard drive. That's textbook. That's textbook when you got the lead. When you go up in a game, it is textbook to have long, sustainable drives and get points when you have the lead. That is a recipe for victory. Keep the other team's offense off the field. Long, drawn-out drives. Work the clock and get some points. That was impressive. They went 97.5 yards and then again 85 yards. And the third down conversions. Hold on, let me find it. I know it was something crazy. I remember the last time I heard they were saying it was like they were 7 for 9 or something like that, but I think it was even better than that. Hold on, let me see. Third down conversions both on offense and defense. Very impressive by the Steelers today. Let me see if I don't know if I can find it quickly, guys, because I'm looking at stats or whatever. And I don't know. It's probably under team stats. And I'm looking at individuals. I don't want to hold you guys up. But for you guys who, obviously saw the game and, saw the box score and all of that, very impressive. Very impressive. I think it was, I want to say it was like 7 of 9, something like that. I think we only didn't get a third down 3 times, because when I was listening to the game as I walked through the door here, I heard him say that's only the 3rd time. But I remember it was one stat that they were 7 for 9, so maybe they ended up like 8 for 11 or something like that. Either way, third down production was phenomenal by the Steelers on both defense and offense. We were getting off the field on third down. Good to hear. And we were getting Matt Ryan off of his spot. Cam Hayward got a sack right up the middle. And they said, I can't wait to see this. But they were saying how he basically drove Mac into Matt Ryan. This is what I'm talking about, man. Cam Hayward showing up. Our big boys in the middle showing up. I heard Javon Hargrave name a few times. Just an all-around team effort today, man. And I'm very, very happy to hear that. Let me continue reading, guys. I'm only going to stay on maybe another 10 minutes, man. And I got to get up out of here. Yeah, I see a lot of you guys says Ben shouldn't have thrown the pick. Somebody said the game score should have been 44-17. Let's see. Kenya says, nope, Sim. Bud leads the Steelers in penalties so far, 5, and had 2 bad penalties today on a third down. Can't do that. Yeah, I remember hearing that. What was the bad penalty, Kenyon? Because I know it sounded like there was some questionable calls too. But I think Bud had, was it like a hands to the face? That was one of them, right? So yeah, definitely got to watch that. Bud got to watch that, man. But, like I said, I think Bud Dupree has played better than what some of us would think he has, when you start looking at the film. But, again, TJ Watt definitely seems to be outperforming him. He now has his 6th sack of the season, 6 sacks in 5 games. Very impressive. TJ is definitely on pace for having a double-digit sack year, and that would be great. It would be great in his 2nd season. So Bud Dupree, man, Bud gonna have to do a few more things. I know he's been getting a little bit of pressure, but I need him to be a little more, effective. Finish some of these sacks. and things of that nature. Get a couple strip sacks or something, and then, we can start talking about you again. But right now, it seems like T.J. Watt is the stud on the outside. It's just good to see that we have at least one guy that can be a stud on the outside. And yeah, guys, definitely, I see Sick Now, Cole, saying smack that like button. Guys, please do that, man. Please help your boy out and hit that like button, man. Let's get those likes up if you can. Brian Allen was on special teams, and I kept hearing Metakevich had a lot of tackles on special teams as well. Eli Cullen says, hey, Sim, I'm sure you've seen, but Deion Buchanan and Hassan Reddick were put on the trade block. What are your thoughts on that? Whoa, really? Hassan Reddick? Hassan Reddick is on the trade block already? Wait a minute, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he was a draft pick last year? Wasn't he one of the guys that we thought the Steelers might have got their hands on? Well, that's interesting, man. I don't know about Deion Buchanan. I think we have guys on the team that you could kind of try to get that production from as far as him and his position. Not saying I wouldn't do it, but I don't know if he's as attractive as potentially a guy like Hassan Reddick. Now, I haven't been following Reddick. I don't know if he's injury prone. I know he had some injury things coming into the league, but I don't know what's happened to him since he's been in the league. Arizona, right? But I would say, if you can get the right deal for him, why not bring another pass rusher in? Young, small contract for the most part. Why not? Maybe we could turn him into something. Maybe he could eventually be the replacement for Bud Dupree if Bud Dupree doesn't pan out this last season. But yeah, I'd be willing to talk and listen on offers for him depending on what they're asking for. That's very interesting, though. I didn't know that. Austin says tackling definitely looked solid today, much better today, and that's good to hear, man. I heard, again, Terrell Edmonds' name was being called a few times. He was making some open field tackles. Definitely good to hear that. And it's interesting. I heard Mike Tomlin went off, man. He said some of those calls were bogus. Tomlin don't usually go off like that, so they must have been bad. Let me read a few more of you guys' comments. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? Let's see. Area 51 VG. I haven't seen your name before, man. So if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you coming through. And don't forget, man, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Be a part of the home team. But he says, what up from AZ? Yo, Roosevelt Knicks balled today. Yeah, he definitely did. That dude is he is what you just call he's just a football player, man. Rosie Knicks is just the man. Looking at where he came from and the positions he played to being what he is for the Steelers, and he just loves contact. He loves to block people. He loves blowing people up on special teams, and he loves, rushing the punter on special teams. He's just an all-out football player, a hard-nosed, blue-collar type of guy. You know what I mean? He's a perfect Pittsburgh Steeler. Love that dude, man. He's definitely a fan favorite in my book. Let's see what else you guys got, man. Like I said, I only got a little more time. Kenyon said it was a horrible interception by Ben. That's where he scares me sometimes, man. And here's why it scares me, guys. Ben has pretty much thrown an interception in most of these games this year so far. And what scares me, even though his ratio was good today, 3 for 1, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, this could be that interception that he throws in the divisional playoff game. Or this could be that one interception that he throws when we're playing, the Ravens. Well, we're playing them kind of early, but say we're playing Cincinnati later in the year, the last divisional game that could possibly get us in the playoffs, and that pick happens. That's why it's like, it's a tough pill to swallow. Played good today. And, they said that the ball that he threw to AB on that play action for the, the deep touchdown was right on the money. That's the Ben I like. But Ben is still starting to scare me, man. He still seems like he's reverting at times to forcing things to AB. We've seen it a few times already this year. We saw it blatantly in the Cleveland game. We saw it blatantly last week against the Ravens. Now, he is dumping the ball off to more guys. Juju got a touchdown today. Hit Grimble on a 10-yard pickup late in the game. Didn't really hear Vance McDonald's name much today. I don't know if he had a catch at all. Jesse James, caught Jesse a few times, and we threw quite a few screens, man, from what I heard, to James Conner. That's cool, you know, and James Conner was making the best of it, but it's still those moments where, and it's okay, Ben, to look at your favorite target, the best receiver on that team, but stop forcing the ball. That's all I'm asking. Stop forcing it to him. Eric Walker says, I was just impressed that no Falcons receiver ended up wide open in the entire game, something the Steelers have struggled to do. That's what I'm saying, guys. Listen, another round of applause for the coaching staff and the players on defense. Come on, and I can't wait to see my father-in-law Leonard, man. I'm gonna say, hey, I mean, how you want to call this one? Was it coaching? Was it the players? Because we always have that argument. That's what I'm saying, guys. There are still coaching things that we can critique, but I still feel like the players just haven't been executing as well as they could. Where I fault coaching, again, last week we didn't really blitz a lot. Why not? This week, Mike Hilton was blitzing a lot, and it sounded like he was getting in the head of Matt Ryan. Where was that last week? Why don't you blitz the Ravens? That's a coaching decision, okay? That's coaching staff, defensive coaching staff, whatever. Here's another thing that I'll give you guys in terms of coaching today. We took a timeout very early in that game. I think it was like the first drive on offense. Personnel or whatever, not right personnel, not on the field. What's up with that? We still seem to have problems with clock management. I don't know who's responsible. Is it all Tomlin? Is it guys in the booth? Is it coordinators? I don't know. All I do know is we seem to at moments have struggling times with clock management or guys not being on the field. And I don't know. Again, I think maybe that's more position coach, because I don't know if Tomlin is micromanaging who's supposed to be in what package. But what is the deal with that, man? You can't be taking a timeout that early in the game because you're trying to get somebody on the field. That's coaching stuff. And they all make mistakes. You know, we're not going to agree with every coach. I mean, hey, we don't agree with everything Bill Belichick does. And Bill Belichick is probably will go down, even with the cheating rumors or whatever we feel that was cheating. You still got to give the man his credit for being a phenomenal coach and that culture that they've built over there. But even we don't agree with everything he does. So my point is, there's certain things that we hate about our Steelers that we got to look at the players as well, man, because those guys play your position the right way, you know, and be a little more headsy. All right, let's see what else y'all got, man. Excuse me. Debbie J says Steelers play well there. That should be in the Bungles' head. Bungles. Yeah, you never know, man. You never know how that one's going to go. You know, hopefully we don't walk in there overconfident either, because it is in Cincinnati. I'd rather have it in Cincinnati first, and then we play them at home later. Let me get some more. Let me get some more from you guys. Nick Lazzaroni said, don't talk like that. Jesus, laugh out loud. What comment specifically? Alan Woodall says, special teams played great today. Ben and AB on the same page today. Good to see that, man. Good to see that. Here's a couple new names that and I apologize if you guys have been here before, but you know, haven't really seen them much. Jordan Mid says, bro, everyone every time Sim be like, where the wait, I'm gonna read this like you wrote it. I don't know if it's supposed to be this way, but he says, bro, every time Sim be like, well, there y'all have it, I be dying. Okay. Yeah. Why Diggy says, I agree about the Ravens game, but Hilton didn't play in the game, so maybe that might be the reason they didn't blitz last week. And listen, that's a great point, my man. That's a great point. And see, those are the type of comments that I love. Discussion. Where it's not like, you know, you weren't finger pointing the coaching. We all can agree. Why didn't we blitz? That's a coaching decision, but you brought up a good point. You're very right. Very, very much right. Hilton didn't play, so that might have limited some of the things we did. Let's remember there was times when we seen Nat Burhay in coverage in man, right? And also Morgan Burnett not being out there. That's probably, crippling some of the things we want to do as well, to be fair. So you make a valid point there. So, you're right. I have to stand kind of like, okay, I can't just blame them for not blitzing. That could have been a very, very, very good reason why they didn't. You're very, 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 very right. Let's see. What else y'all got, man? About to get up out of here. Austin Pascal says, you see, Watt has a lot of potential and he's had 2 tremendous games this year. If he could be a little more consistent on the edge, that would be scary. Yeah, man, I think TJ Watt could be, as feared as his brother in terms of knowing that he's relentless, he's going to get to you. You can't be fooling around with him. There was a time when I don't know if J.J. Watt is still that type of threat, because I haven't had a chance to watch the Texans, and obviously the Texans aren't winning that well. But, we all know the period in time with J.J. Watt was just, yeah, you better know where he's at, okay? T.J. Watt could be that for the Steelers. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be that great like J.J. was at one point, but he could be that Steelers, that guy that you have to be concerned with. He could very well do that. We see what type of motor he has. We saw it show up last year. He ran into the rookie wall a little bit. But now he's coming into his own. He's a big kid. He's athletic. TJ Watt could end up being that premier pass rusher that we've been missing. He seems to be more of a hit than Jarvis Jones was, obviously. He seems to be more of a hit than Bud Dupree has been at this point. Could be TJ Watt, man. He could be the guy. Let's see what else y'all got. Nick says, we're definitely more flashy down the field. More of a flashy, we're definitely more so a flashy down the field team now. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. He says, of course, we could start to phase in Connor more as he progresses. Yeah, man, again, it's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen, man, when Le'Veon Bell gets back into the fold. I'm very interested in seeing that. All right, so I think that's going to be it, man. Oh, Milton Buckner, thank you for reminding me that. Y'all know I got to put the side face on real quick. What is going on with Chris Boswell, man? Yeah, he made the rest of his extra points and even made a field goal or 2 in the game, if I'm not mistaken. But, dog, what is the problem with him missing these kicks? Extra points. Do y'all realize that Chris Boswell have missed 3 extra points and 3 field goals in 5 weeks of football? It's not good. It's not good. And you missing at the crib, man. On this beautiful day. I mean, a ridiculously beautiful day for Pittsburgh. In the 80s. In October. Very strange, beautiful weather. It was hot out there. I know some of the players probably was cramping up. Thank God. That's probably all it was for Cam Hayward. Ooh, that scared me. Even listening to it, that he had went down. But guys, what is up with the Wizard of Oz, man? I need him to get his act together. He mark my word. No, I don't want to say that. But let's not be surprised if one day later in the season, it'll be a Boswell missed field goal or extra point, or a Ben Roethlisberger interception forcing it to AB that will cause the Steelers to lose a game somewhere. I hope that doesn't come into fruition, but I see a trend happening here, and more so a trend with Ben, but I don't like this trend that seems to be creeping up on Boswell. He got to get this together now. I thought he might have got past that. But all right, man, I'm going to read one more comment here, and I'm going to be up out of here. Let's see. What else y'all got? Give me something else. All right, I'll read Eli Cullen. He says, Cullen. He says, you for trading Bell, or you want to trade him if it was your choice? I don't know, man. honestly, how I feel right now, if we can get value for Bell, trade him. Trade him. Why not? If we can get the value for him, trade him. Because, listen, I'm not saying James Conner is better than Le'Veon Bell. Y'all know better than that. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying, though, is the Steelers are proving right now that they can win football games with James Conner. James Conner has proven to us more than once that he can get 100 yards rushing. Okay? Now, of course, you take consideration the defenses he's facing, whatever. He's done it a couple times now, right? James Conner has also proven to be valuable and an asset in the pass game. What I'm saying is I don't know. Again, I've been saying this the last couple years. Le'Veon Bell, in my opinion, is not the reason why the Steelers win or lose a Super Bowl. It's been the defense in the most, for the most part. Now, Le'Veon Bell definitely makes us more of a threat because it's Le'Veon Bell. He's gonna draw that attention, and then AB's still got to draw his attention. Then you get a lot. You get a lot of one-on-one matchups out there. I don't know if James Conner is demanding that yet, which is the reason why he's probably been more free with dump-offs. It's going to start catching up sooner or later. But I still think with or without Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers can win football games. If our defense plays, if they can be more consistent and just be a top 15 defense. If we can do that, I think the Steelers have a fighting chance. But I'm just afraid that Le'Veon Bell, I'm afraid it's going to mess with the chemistry, man, and it really scares me. I'm afraid of that. I don't know what's going to happen after this bye week if he actually comes in, during the bye, which is week 7. It scares me a little bit, but we'll see. But again, it's got to be of value, and I think Kevin Colbert, man, put out a great proposition out there. He said it's going to have to be a good player and no less than a second-round pick. I think right there you throwing your cards on the table and like, y'all want him, come get him. But we going to get some real value for that. And let me explain to you folks why he would do that. If Le'Veon Bell walks and he signs in free agency, the Steelers are going to get a third-round compensatory pick. So that's why Colbert says it ain't going to be for nothing less than a second, and I want a good player. Make the stakes high, and if you can get those high stakes, take it. Why not? Why not? Unless we believe what Le'Veon Bell said, that he feels like maybe a deal could still get done with the Steelers. I don't know. But if you get that much for him, why not take it? Because, it's the reality is he probably signs with another team. So, there you have it. But all right, guys, man, you guys have been great tonight, man. We've been rocking for a lot longer than I expected, 49 minutes. What a long day for me, guys. Oh, man, 8 hours of driving. But again, I can't leave you guys hanging, man. I told you I was going to still get this done regardless of what time I got home. So I'm glad I was able to spend that time with you guys. So come Tuesday, y'all know the routine, man. I'll probably talk a little more in depth about this game. I usually talk more in advance, but I'll probably talk a little more about this game because by that time I will have watched it at least 3 times. I will have all 22 footage. And, we'll look at some plays that we can go yay about and then not necessarily look at the negative plays. And there you have it. But again, guys, before you go, man, if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, if you enjoyed yourself tonight, you enjoyed this forum, you enjoyed the discussion, hit that subscribe button, man. Go ahead and subscribe. Do yourself a favor. Be a part of the home team. We have a good time here talking about Steelers. And if you're into gaming, I do that as well. All right? Also, cut on your notifications, guys, whether you are a new subscriber or a current subscriber. Cut the notification bell on so you know when new videos are available. And last but not least, like button. Hit that like button. Get that thumbs up for me, man. And if you don't like it, hit thumb down as well. I'm not partial to that. Give me your real feelings. All right, so that's going to do it. Great late night. I'm going to call it short right here, man. We did almost an hour, so wasn't as short as I expected. But I appreciate you guys coming through, man. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday I've changed the time to 7:30 p.m. now, Eastern time. Terrible Towel Tuesday. And again, how that show normally goes, we talk about the upcoming week, expectations, talk a little bit about the prior week, and then I show you guys all 22 footage that we can take a look at and go yay or nay. All right? So, great win for the boys, for all of us. We really needed this one. Let's chew on it for a night or so, and then it's on to Cincinnati. All right? Catch you guys later. Y'all have a great night. Have a great week. Get your week off right tomorrow on Monday, man. Started great so you can breeze through it and get to Friday. All right, man. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern sharp. All right? Peace.